Hello everybody, my name is buzzycombs and welcome to another episode of the Lotus SMP. Last episode, I organized a little blueprint of my area, and today I plan on actually building my path and getting a tree farm coordinated in this corner past my farm. Before I get onto that, I do need to sort my inventory, and I've also noticed that my camel is missing again. So I'm going to do a quick little fly around, see if he's at all in range. I also have a neighbor now, but I'm going to assume that hopefully he went into the nether. Also, I do apologize. I do think I'm a little bit congested. Either I have some allergies or I might be sick with something. I'm not sure. So again, I am sorry about that. But my camel's not here. And I think my render distance... No, wow, 29 chunks. But okay, my render distance is fine. But my camel is missing. He's not in here. He's not in the overworld. So where the heck could he have gone? I guess let me just fly around a bit. See if I can spot the little guy. Because there's no way he wandered too far, right? Surely he's still around somewhere. So over here, the village seems normal. And he's not over here. Let me lower my render distance down to 20 because I feel like 29 is a lot. I don't know why I had it at that, but I don't see him over here. Not in here either. Could he have wandered into Lena's area? I am saddened by this. I don't know where my camel went, and I don't know how I'm going to find him. So this is a puzzle that I don't have the time to solve, but I really want to know where he is. Uh-oh, this is the scary cave. Camel, are you here? I don't even have a name for you. Ow! Dang it, I don't have a name for him yet, which makes me very sad. And speaking of names, I actually did receive a few suggestions in the comments in my last video on names for Timmy's girlfriend. The first suggestion was left by FuziYT, suggesting that we should call her Timothea, or Thea for short. That's her in the jungle boat. And then the second suggestion by Krenzer7369 is to name her something with a T, but they suggested Twyla. Rather than picking a name myself, I'm going to leave this to a vote for you guys. I'm going to pin a comment, and either I'm going to have that link to a community post for you to vote on, or I will have you guys vote in the comments directly. I'll figure that out when the time comes. But that is enough of me getting sidetracked. I may do another quick little sweep around though, just in case I can find my camel, because I can't just lose him without ever giving him a name. That just feels wrong. I can't even give him a gravestone if I have no name for him, and I'm out of rockets. Man, that genuinely makes me so sad. That camel is my day one steed. Dang it, stinking fence is not keeping him in. So really quickly, I'm going to empty out my inventory, gather a few resources, and then we will get started on the path for today. So I have the materials I think I'll need. Now I just need to figure out exactly how I want to do this. So I think using path blocks might be a good idea. Maybe. I don't know, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So maybe not. But I do know stairs are a very, very nice looking material, nice texture for this environment. But maybe I could also... Hello, there's a husk over here. Please die. Thank you. Okay, I still have the crafting table down here. So instead of having it over here, I will actually bring it over to where I am working currently, and I will set it right there. Perfect. Now, I'm going to transform these birch planks into slabs. That way I'm saving materials. And I think I might try to texture it between wood and sandstone, and I'll see how this looks. Although I feel like it looks a bit funky. I don't know. I think that works. Basically, what I'm going to do is just have it randomly textured like so. My goal is to just make this look as nice as it possibly can, make it feel like a path, and hopefully work through it however I can. Because I've never actually built in a desert before. Honestly, I never really do much builds in the first place on Minecraft. I'm usually more of a minigame player, and well, I guess I used to build a lot back before I stopped playing Minecraft, but I never really built by myself, and I definitely never focused on the terrain. I usually just built like hotels and high schools and stuff, and they were not pretty builds, by the way. At least not what I did. But basically, I want to experiment with various different build types in my time on YouTube, which hopefully will be a long time. Also right here, I'm just gonna start digging out a bit so it's a bit easier for me to coordinate. And of course, I am going to most definitely sprinkle in some plain old sand into the path as well, but that's going to be throughout the process. I definitely do think this looks good though. I like it. But first, it is nighttime, so I must sleep that away. Actually, I do have an outdoors bed, so instead of constantly running back and forth, I'm just going to take this over here, slap it down next to my crafting table, and not go inside the house during my time building, which is literally like a 10-block run, but that's a lot of effort for me. I don't want to go up there. That's just me being lazy. And now I want another stair, some sandstone, a piece of sand, maybe another piece of sand there. And basically just trying to just place them randomly, but also in a way that feels good. And over here, I'll have like a bit of a thicker cluster of sandstone stairs. That looks pretty good, I think. Unless I come up with something else to talk about, I think I will transition into a possible time lapse. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the process. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to texture the path over here. I might sprinkle some graveling here and there as well. But for now, I'll just keep it as sandstone. Just keep it consistent with the rest of the path. But I definitely do think that I'm going to swap it up over here at some point because this transition is not pretty. That is just a cluster of blocks and not in a good way. Here to interrupt this time lapse with some moping. So I got a little bit distracted, and as you can see, I am at Chesty's base. But why, you may ask, am I here? Well, halfway through working on my path, I remembered that Chesty has a little to-do list that anybody can write on. So, me being me, I of course had to come over here and give him some tasks. On this mission, I decided Chesty should try to find and recover my missing camel, and I want him to mine out an entire chunk of land. The problem, however, is that I didn't have any glow ink sacks, nor did I have any white dye. So, of course, I had to run around like a maniac and gather a bunch of these items so I can make this look fancy. In my mission to do so, I went into a mine shaft, I nearly died, and I also actually got some diamonds, which I got 10 total, but I decided to drop 5 in his barrel. But I'm upset. I forgot to start recording again. I stopped my recording because there's a server restart, but I forgot to start it again. So all of this happened, and there's nothing to show for it. And I am very sad about this, and I do apologize for not being able to include this segment. I don't know what to do now, because I thought that was a very funny bit, and I thought you guys would enjoy it, but I'm a silly goose, so I do apologize. Maybe next time, or maybe next episode, or maybe even sometime today, I'll come up with another little bit of mischief to get up to, because my brain is very scattered, and I sometimes come up with ideas, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta do them. But unfortunately, oh yeah, I forgot, I also, I got a skeleton horse for him. I saw a skeleton horse, like, hanging out over there, so I stole his saddle from the camel, brought it over here, gave the camel the saddle back, and now there's a skeleton horse in Chesty's sniffer enclosure. So yeah, that happened. Again, I do apologize for the lack of actually doing this. I just wanted to put this in here to let you guys know that something happened. So if you do question, hey, what's this stuff? Why do you have this? And, you know, if anybody ever watches Chesty's video and wonders who the heck did this, it was me. I did it, but I forgot to record, because I'm weird like that. But yeah, sorry for the interruption, and I guess we will get back to the time lapse. So I have finished what I can of my path for now, and I also added some leaves. However, these leaves are placed sporadically and without much thought into them. So in the future, they definitely will be fine-tuned and will look significantly better. But for now, this is what I have, and this is what it will look like. So now that I'm finished with the path, I would like to go over to this corner over here and get started on my tree farm. The thing, however, is that I don't actually really know what I want it to look like. I have a vague idea, but that's it. So I'm probably going to clear out a little bit more land just to make sure I can actually squeeze it in, because this is going to be presumably a rather large build. That way I can actually squeeze in dark oak and acacia wood without it being too small. Alright, so this is the land I have cleared out, and now it is time for me to brainstorm what exactly I want this to look like, because I do know it is going to have a wall. I'm considering maybe cobblestone with a little bit of maybe some sort of gradient between it and sand. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab... Oh my gosh, I keep destroying the ground. But I'm going to go on ahead and grab a couple of smooth sandstone from my chest room. And then I think what I would like is I would like to have a little entrance like this. Nice little cute archway. And of course, I will make it look a lot nicer. But for now, it is completely cobblestone and it's just a vomit. So maybe I could have some mud on the bottom to like act as a gradient between the sand and the stone. And just give it a bit of a slightly rounded shape just to make it feel a little bit nicer and a bit interesting to the rest of the builds in the area. And I am out of mud. I do think that having it like this probably will work. I just need to collect a couple of building blocks from my chest room. I don't think I have any actual normal stone, I'm realizing, which is slightly problematic, but that's okay for now. Maybe I could try some basalt as well. Now, if we finish this right here, then we have it kind of rising up a little bit of a random texture, make it feel all that more natural. And then once I get to adding the stones, I can have a nice little gradient-esque feel to it. Here we go. I've got the nice little gradient down, or the base of it, that is. And next up, let's see, try some cobble deep slate. And then some cobblestone. And maybe I'll also squeeze in a little bit of tuff here and there. Just to really... Ah, yes, tuff works very nicely, I think. And so there we go. We've got a nice little gradient going on here. And now I just need to add it to the rest of the build. So essentially what I am doing is I'm going with a bit of a richer color palette than with the rest of my area. Because this is definitely an area that has more life to it than the rest of my place. Solely because of the fact that there are trees inside. And so that means like the ground is going to be nice and rich. You know, got some moss everywhere so they can actually grow. And I also think I might want some bees around at some point too. That way it amplifies the growth of it. But it is nighttime, so I do need to quickly sleep. But I'm also going to move this bed back into that area. That way I have quicker access to sleep and it is just less of a hassle overall. And I'm also going to dump away my diamonds because I have literally zero purpose to have them in my inventory. So I'm taking another look at it and I actually am having a hard time seeing that nice smooth transition I spotted before. I do think I'm going to experiment a little bit and see if I can try to get a little bit of normal mud to help assist as well. So I'm going to fly up here, grab... Ow. Dang it, I fell. I'm going to grab a little bit of some bottles. A little bit of some bottles. My word, that does not English properly. But I would like to get a little bit of water from over here. Hello, cows. Don't mind me. Got 2 bits of water now. And so I'll take my rockets and fly over this way. Now I'll test the mud. I were to place this here. How does that look? Now, what if I transform it into the plain old little dry mud thingy thing? So packed mud. What do you look like over here? Still not a good enough transition, I think. So I'm just going to get a bunch of mud and transform this bottom. But getting mud is an absolute pain in my butt. So instead of doing that specifically, I'm actually going to go on ahead and head to Chesty's base and check to see if his shop is stocked and get the mud from his shop. So for now, I bid my lovely little tree farm goodbye and I will fly over there and see what he has in stock for me. Alright, so over here in the water is Chesty's mug shop. And as long as nobody has bottom out, there should be enough for me. Yes, there is. Perfect. So it is 1 diamond per stack. There is no ender chest here, so I'm just going to go on ahead and check his base to see if he has one in here. Aha! I guess I'll take 5 stacks because I have 5 diamonds. Might as well. I will go on over there and grab the materials I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Funnily enough, Chesty Cash is now online. You know what? I might as well go on ahead and pay him a little visit. I feel like I just summoned you. Ow, ow. Hi. Oh, he's muted. Alright, so I am finally back with my mud. I did get a little bit sidetracked, and I spoke to Chesty for like an hour. Wow, that was a lag spike. But that happened. But now it is actually time for me to establish the mud wall and see how it looks. So I think I don't want it to go up like this, but I do like how the mud looks. It definitely brings in this nice feel, and it does contrast very sharply with the sand floors. However, I can amend this by using like azalea leaves and some moss to make it really just blend a little bit better, which that definitely works, I think. So yeah, this is what I'll do. I'll have the plain old default mud rather than mud bricks because it just works all that much better. While I do this, I guess we will transition into a time lapse. So I have gotten the wall done. I had it gradient into a bit of a mossy color up top to emphasize a bit more on the greenery aspect of my area. And now I just need to figure out what to do with the top and how to make it look pretty. I think, however, I might want to try experimenting a little bit with some mud, maybe. Give it a bit of a nice, cozy, warm brown feel. But I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go about it. I think here, instead of doing cobblestone, I would like this to become mud instead. And so I will do this. And I need to figure out a way to make it look good. Definitely not oak. Oak doesn't work. What about normal packed mud? What if I try that instead? Okay, so I do think that spruce logs actually work pretty well. So I think I'm going to try to put those down on here rather than mud. And I will also use some plain old spruce to curve it out a little bit better. All right, so I have figured out what I want this little archway to look like. And from here, I'm going to transition into a time lapse and add a few more accents to the rest of the build to give it a little bit more depth and make it look a lot nicer than it does now. Finished the external of my little thing. Tree farm, that's the word. I used some dark oak and a bunch of azalea leaves to make it really look nice. I also added on the inside a couple of supports as well as this little roof thing. I wasn't sure about how I felt about it, but I feel like it makes the inside feel a lot more interesting and less boring. And I also used some trapdoors as like a little holder for the leaves, a little support of sorts. And I think it came along pretty nicely. But now that I am done with that, I would like to get a little bit of a path established, at least for right here, because this left side of the area is just going to be decorative and not actually used as a tree gathering section. It's just going to look pretty and nice. And so I'm going to set down a couple of leaves, make it look a bit rich in color. And I also would like to get myself some more azalea leaves and moss. I don't have any more azalea leaves, unless I have some in a chest upstairs. Let's see. I don't have any azalea leaves left. Oh dear, I don't see any saplings either, which is a problem because I died due to my lack of having saplings. Oh, no, I do have... Oh, I have some leaves left. I somehow looked over it. Okay, never mind to that. So I will decorate this wall over here, make it look nice and lush. And now I will get the ground transformed into moss. All right, there we go. That wall is now complete. And now it is time for me to gather a little bit of dirt, maybe some mud bricks, and path this out. I think I would like to transition it from sandstone and whatnot into a bit more of a pathy, dirty feel because it's a little bit different on the inside of here than it is on the outside. And it's a lot more, again, rich in nutrients in the soil and all of that fun stuff. And here we are. This path is now complete. And now I just need to figure out how I'm going to do the floor over here. It's probably going to be something simple. I think I'll do it in strips. And then between the strips, I think I will do mud brick again. All right, so I have finished everything except for laying down the bricks. And that's because I have run out of them. So I am going to have to stop by Chesapeake shop again and get some more mud just so I can finish up this little area. And while I'm over there, I'm also going to gather some saplings of acacia and dark oak. That way I can test out the farm and make sure it actually works properly. Alrighty, so I now have enough acacia and dark oak saplings to test this out, as well as the mud bricks that I needed to finish up the outlines. So I will do that really quickly, and then I will test to see if there's enough space for my trees to grow. And here we are. Time for me to test to see how effective this is. Alright, it seems effective enough. I do have quite a few leaves grown. I've completely run out of bone meal, and I have a suspicion that these corners over here might not grow, but I'll have to test that in the future. However, as it is right now, my little farm does work, and I'm quite happy with this. So, the final steps of today is to light this up, and then I'm done. And so I'm going to be using some hidden frog lights to keep the area lit up, and I will also include some, I think, spaced out along these, I believe, will look good. And there we go! This area is lit up. It should be mob-proof, hopefully, because I don't want anything to be spawning in here. That's it. I'm done, finally. So, this episode, I have finally made a path for my area, and I made a tree farm for a shop that I am hoping to make in the next episode. So, if you guys do want to see more content on the Lotus SMP, be sure to check out the other channels in the description down below. And if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, comment your feedback, and I guess I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!